The Biden administration is now reconsidering whether it was a bright idea to pull American resources out of the Middle East, especially following the October 7th Hamas atrocities committed against Israel. Now, according to a Politico report, the Biden administration was completely caught off guard when the terrorist attack happened on October 7th. And so now they're wondering if maybe it makes sense to pump more money into the region and increase their abilities and capabilities to collect information on the ground there. Officials interviewed by Politico likened the scenes inside the White House following the October 7th attacks and in the Pentagon, the State Department, and in intelligence agencies in the weeks following the initial attacks to days following the attack on the US Embassy in Benghazi in 2012. Now, Aaron Bonko, who is the reporter behind this story, explains that the United States slowly but surely pulling out of the Middle East has led to a bit of a vacuum in regard to intelligence. And so they feel that it is a problem to just simply rely on Israel for intelligence, because as we all know, Israel failed to take the intelligence they had about an impending Hamas attack seriously. That was a story that was reported by the New York Times. And so now, since October 7th, senior officials have said publicly that Israel did not share key details it had collected about a potential assault by Hamas from Gaza. The US and Israel have a strong intelligence sharing partnership, one that would have allowed for Israel to share details of a possible attack by Hamas. But as that New York Times reporting had indicated months ago, the IDF and the Israeli government simply didn't take basically the blueprint that Hamas had for the attack. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't think Hamas had the capability to carry out those atrocities. And so since they dismissed it, they unfortunately became very vulnerable to the attack that happened on October 7th. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government did not seriously consider information from its own intelligence ranks that Hamas was planning an attack and did not pass on the blueprints it had obtained to US officials. So as a result, now the United States is thinking, well, maybe we need to have some people on the ground to collect intelligence on behalf of the United States. In the weeks that followed October 7th, officials assessed that while Hamas didn't pose a direct threat to the US, other groups or individuals sympathetic to Hamas could attack the US in the region. They became particularly concerned that Hezbollah might try to target US troops and diplomats abroad and even Americans at home. So now the argument is, well, we need to pump more money, more of these finite resources into the Middle East, essentially reversing some of what we had given Biden credit for in pulling out of the Middle East. So.
Yeah, great, we're going back into the Middle East. I bet this ends well. So they're gonna spend $1 billion. You think they're only going to spend $1 billion? That's their original plan. I remember before the Iraq war, they said that the whole thing might cost, I remember now, in a congressional hearing, $1.2 billion. It cost in the trillions. In the trillions. So every time these guys say, oh no, we got this. We're gonna go and kill more people in the Middle East, and we're gonna do intelligence, we're gonna do intelligence work in the Middle East, and then we're gonna put our troops there, and then they're gonna get fired on, and we're gonna pretend to be outraged. Oh my God, I can't believe after we were killing all you guys, you killed some of us back. Oh, now we have to kill you more. And then we're gonna start a much bigger war, we're gonna spend trillions of dollars, and then America's safer. Is it? Has anything that we have done in our lifetimes in the Middle East made us any safer? I would argue that almost everything we've done in the Middle East has made us less safe. We have went and antagonized countries. Back in the 1950s, we did coups against democratically elected governments like the one in Iran. And people were so mad about that, it led to a revolution where they went in a fundamentalist Muslim direction. And now we've been fighting them for the last 70 years because of the awful thing that we did in deposing their democratic elected president. Why did we do that? Because he wouldn't sell to our corporations at the right profit margin.
I have a question, and this is a sincere question. It's not rhetorical, and try to control yourself as you answer, because I am genuinely curious. So the United States keeps pointing at Israel as like our top ally in the region, an important, critical ally to the United States. So we already know what we provide for Israel. literally billions and billions of dollars every single year in military funding, which they then use to carry out their war crimes in the Gaza Strip and sometimes also in the occupied West Bank. Don't feel really great about that. But what do we get in return? And I'm genuinely asking, because one of the things that was widely reported was that a critical thing that Israel provides to the United States government is intel. And clearly, I mean, this report is a clear indication that we can't rely on Israel for intel. So what exactly do we get out of Israel?
Okay.
I want to know, because yes, it is transactional. Every relationship we have on the international stage is transactional. Don't make a mistake about that. What do we get out of Israel?
Okay, so let me give you the facts and then I'll give you the commentary. I've read hundreds of articles about this over the last 25 years. They always say two things. Number one is, and this is by an overwhelming margin, number one is intelligence. And they say, oh, you don't know, you guys don't know. It's super secret intelligence, but it's critical.
Is it?
Is it? First of all, we missed 9/11, so how they didn't help us. We didn't have, so that was when we needed it. Okay, so that was the one time we needed it and nothing. October 7th in Israel, they had that intelligence. They didn't share it. They didn't do anything themselves about it, and they didn't share it with us.
They just dismissed it.
Dismissed it. So does that mean they share no intelligence? No, first of all, they steal intelligence from us. Jonathan Pollard, as we talked about earlier in the show, is a traitor who stole intelligence and gave it to the Israelis. But okay, every once in a while, do they give real intelligence? Of course they do. And what is it about? The Norwegians, right? Oh, no, it's about Muslims in the area that might attack Israel. Wait, how does that help us? They say, oh yeah, but some of them might also attack you because of your support for us. Wait, how does that help us? So they give us a hit list of people we should assassinate on their behalf to protect their interest. But how does it help us? The only other thing ever mentioned in any of those articles is, oh, they're really good at tech and we got a good trading partner. So what? China's really good at tech. And by the way, we trade with China 10,000 times more than we trade with Israel. Does that mean we should do whatever the hell China tells us to do? That China's the best ally we have? That makes no logical sense at all. We do great trading with, again, with Sweden and Kenya and all these. Why? That's not an argument for us giving them $4 billion a year.
Plus, they specialize in security and military tech as well.
Yeah, to kill more Muslims and to occupy them for longer, so that the whole Muslim world can hate us because we're giving them a blank check and not helping. Well, we're helping to oppress Palestinians for 75 years straight now. Okay, so my commentary is, and I defy anyone to show anything else. Israel gives us zero. If they just say, okay, give me the money. Now, by the way, go run cover for me at the United Nations and the whole world. You should be responsible and everyone should hate you instead of me because you're the one really backing me and I couldn't do it without you. So everybody, your hatred towards America, okay? And by the way, if you're gonna attack, don't attack us. Attack America and give us money. And I'm not gonna give you anything back. And by the way, every once in a while, I'll spy on you and steal stuff, even though you're giving me everything anyway. So I don't see how this is an ally. Then the only other thing that anybody ever says is only democracy in the Middle East. So hold on, I have two things about that. Number one, I know this is a tiny thing, but it bothers me because they go, well, Turkey, I'll say sometimes, hey, it's the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and then people will laugh, go, yeah, right, it's Middle Eastern. Turkey's of course Middle Eastern, look at you, brown person, right? Well, Turkey's a democracy, and Turkey doesn't occupy anyone. Turkey's definitely a bad, look, I don't like the current right-wing government. Oh, it turns out you can criticize things that are your own ethnicity. Okay, I know, crazy thought. Anyway, I don't like the current right-wing government, but they're definitely a better ally. And they help us with Russia from sometimes, they help us with Iran, they help us in Syria. They actually help us with things that we need. Now, Turkey also does terrible things that I'm not in favor of.
Like slaughtering Kurds in Syria.
Yes, that's right, and we criticize them for that. Again, I thought you were supposed to be massively biased in favor of your own ethnicity and background. Well, it turns out you can be fair. Anyways, so Turkey's a democracy and no one ever cares. And they don't get the same special privileges that Israel gets. And besides which, Israel's only a democracy if you live inside Israel, but not in the areas where they imprison 5 million Palestinians. So, okay, let's go back into the Middle East so Israel can drag us into another war so we can spend trillions of dollars. The bigger financial backers here are not Israel. The defense contractors and the oil companies are gonna make so much money from instability in the Middle East.
The US has slowly begun to move resources back to the Middle East in recent weeks as violence escalates in Gaza, Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, the Red Sea, and between Israel and Hezbollah on the border with Lebanon. And how much money are we talking about here? Well, we didn't get exact figures, like a holistic number that would include many years of continuing whatever we're doing in the Middle East. But here's what Politico reports. The Pentagon has estimated that it will cost more than $1 billion just to rebuild our presence in the Middle East after October 7th.
Of course.
It has sent several ships and submarines along with 1,200 troops to the region. The State Department and White House, meanwhile, have dispatched advisors to Israel to help coordinate with the Netanyahu government, and intelligence agencies have upped their collection work in countries, including Iraq and Syria, to monitor the movements and planning of Iranian proxies.
Here, I can solve all those problems for you because they'll say, oh, what do you want us to do? Nothing about it? No, get back into the Iran peace deal, get the uranium out of Iran so they can't develop nukes, and the occupation. And you won't have to worry about killing hundreds of thousands of Muslims in the Middle East because they won't hate you. No, I got a great idea. Instead, the defense contractors can make trillions of dollars more because that's what they're doing. You know, when she read, no, we're sending submarines and ships and 1,200 troops, I thought parentheses, so they can get killed and we could pretend to be outraged so we can start bigger conflicts so that you can all die and send us more money because all the people who bribe American politicians are about to get stinking rich as we head back into the Middle East to create a giant mess that'll land right on top of your head. But don't worry, everybody at Raytheon is gonna be swimming in money.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.